Big Fo's career at LSU is over, and what a career it has been for her. Not only on the court, but as we saw Kim Mulkey say, off the court as well. You got Drake, you got Beyonce, and you got Flau'jae. No last name needed. But last night, her basketball career at LSU came to an end. And I know that they're going to miss her, and we can get into all of that, but let's talk about the game. Let's talk about it. All right, so we had Duke versus LSU last night, and I ain't gonna lie, I had LSU winning. I thought it was gonna be a good game, but I thought that LSU was going to pull it out. I thought LSU was more talented. I thought that they would play with a sense of urgency. I thought that they would win. And as much as I like Kara Lawson, I did not think that they were going to beat LSU last night, but I was wrong. And I'm an LSU fan. I say this all the time. I am an LSU fan. And so it's hard for me to ever go against LSU. The only time I go against LSU, and I wouldn't say necessarily go against, but the only time I root for another team is when they play South Carolina, possibly, and UConn. And so, yeah, because I grew up on UConn, and I've been a UConn fan for the longest time. Then Dawn, like I said, came and just stole my heart, and so I root for her. She's my favorite. But I've talked enough. Let's talk about what happened in the LSU Duke game last night. All right, so I got the first quarter. I got as my notes, Duke was getting what they wanted, and Fulwiley was a spark off of the bench. And so my people say that I hate on Fulwiley, or that be as hard as somebody else as I am on Fulwiley. But here's the thing. I always say this. The reason why, first of all, I love Fulwiley. I love her playing style. I love who she is. I mean, I love her passion for the game. You can tell that she just enjoys hooping, and I think that she lost love a little bit. I think she lost confidence a little bit when she was at South Carolina. But I think that it was because she needed to mature, and she was not quite there yet. When I say mature, just kind of all around. She's a freshman coming in. You're accustomed to basically doing what you want to do, but now you're playing for a program in South Carolina who is a championship program. You're not going to be able to do some of those same things. So it's just a learning experience in general across the board. And I think that just need to learn the game better. But here's the truth of the matter. That's all freshmen, pretty much. All right. Like I said, the only one that I can think of now who really didn't go through that to me was Sarah Strong, but she plays a different position. So it's a little bit different. But what I was saying about Fulwiley, she reminds me of me a lot. I got in trouble for the same things when I was playing. So that's why it seems like I'm a little bit harder on her, because whatever coach says about her, I heard that same thing. I was sixth man off the bench in college. I was a spark off the bench, but I turned the ball over because that's the way I played. I was a risky player, but all I needed was a coach to believe in me, as I believe the Fulwiley is the same way. Most talented on the team. Fulwiley, most talented on the team. All right, so catch my drift. Anyway, I rambled long enough. Let's get into this game. All right, so we see that Duke was getting offensive rebounds early. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign, because offensive rebounds, in order to get offensive rebounds, that's hard. That's going after the ball. That's not a technique. That's not anything that's necessarily a skill. That's simply saying, I am playing with a sense of urgency, and I want the basketball more than you want the basketball. So we see Duke coming out early, getting these offensive rebounds. Then that is letting me know that's a problem in itself. Now, I will say that Koval, to me, is not the most mobile. And we see that Grace Knox was entered, because I think that was part of the reason that Fournier was getting so many of these offensive rebounds, and just Duke in general. I want to say Fournier at one point got like 3 offensive rebounds back to back to back. That is absolutely unnecessary. Like that cannot happen. All right. But we see that they're getting offensive rebounds early. So that already let me know, ooh, LSU, y'all better get it together, and get it together quickly. All right. So Not only that, I just said it. When you have a team or players getting offensive rebounds, that's just saying I want it more than you do. So from that, I made a note that Duke was playing harder than LSU. That's the fact of the matter. They were playing like they wanted it more than LSU wanted it. In this tournament, I don't care who it is. At this point of the game, you have to understand that the teams are there for a reason, and nothing is going to be given to you. You have to go and take everything. They don't care that you're LSU. They don't care that you beat them earlier in the season. It's now, this is March, almost April. It's championship time. They are looking for revenge, and they don't care about what happened earlier other than y'all beat us. It's tournament time. Now it's time for us to get you. And that's the way they play. That's got made it, continuing in my notes. Fournier getting offensive rebounds. She was a menace on the board. LSU could not keep her off the boards. And she basically went at them all night long. And LSU looked like they were in trouble earlier. And I missed the game, but honestly, LSU being as talented as they are, I was just like, okay, they're going to turn it on and they're not going to have any issues and, be close at first and then they'll run away with it. But that obviously was not the case. But thank God for Malaysia Fulwiley. And I'll say this, and I said it when it happened, and I knew the light was going to flick on or switch on for her confidence, not for her ability, because okay, my light died, so I had to come back. But what I was saying is, this is when we saw, or I saw, the light switch for Malaysia Fulwiley when it comes to not her ability, but her confidence. And like I said, for Malaysia, the ability is, there's no question about her ability, but it was some things, that she just had to work on. But in order for her to be able to play her best, she has to be a confident player. And this is the switch that was made this season. It was the Ole Miss game when Michaela Williams got benched. And Malaysia started that second half. I was like, oh, that's what Malaysia needed right then. And ever since then, Malaysia has been doing Malaysia things. She's been playing with confidence. She has looked like a good, mature player for the most part, or a player who has matured. All right, so that is, and we saw that Malaysia looked like that she's been here on this big stage where the lights are bright and playing against Duke. And I know I missed the game the first go round, but I also heard that Malaysia was a spark the first go round. I heard that she pretty much turned it around for LSU because they were not playing their best against Duke. And honestly, too, that gives a player confidence as well in saying that last time I played good against them. And so it just really kind of boosts a player's confidence as well. So she probably was comfortable. She knew their personnel or whatever. And she's like, look, I did it before. I'm going to do the same thing again. But I will say, I'll talk more about her, but she absolutely stepped up to the plate. And she was the reason why LSU was even in the ball game in the first half. For sure, throughout the game, honestly. But I put that Duke was scoring too easily in the paint. They're scoring too easily in the paint. I said, now the good thing about LSU, that they were shooting free throws early. Big Four, she got to the free throw line. We saw Michaela Williams get to the free throw line early. We saw Malaysia get to the free throw line early. So that was a good thing for them. I had Ariana Robertson had 9 points in the first. All right, so she was having a good first quarter, getting what she want. I put that Fulwiley. You can see Fulwiley's growth. As I said, she hit a timely three. And I was just about to get on to her, and I was going to say, now you're the one who was playing well. I need you to be more aggressive at Malaysia Fulwiley. And because a lot of times we see her and we're like, oh, Malaysia, not right now. That's not a good time. That's not a good shot to take. Or you weren't under control on that drive. Let's get something a little bit better. And then I was thinking that, now you playing well. Now I need you to be more aggressive. But literally, as soon as I was saying that she hit a timely 3, and I was like, okay, all right, now that made up for it. But when it's different, because when you are in your groove, when you're in rhythm, then you want to continue to be aggressive. That's not forcing it. But excuse me, other times we saw where it was forced a little bit, but I'm glad that she was noticed that and took that 3, and she hit it because she was on fire. Second quarter, and I've been saying this all season long, Flau'jae has to finish better. She has to, I mean, now her college career is over, but as she gets ready to go to the league, she, in my opinion, had trouble finishing when it came to the college game. What do you think it's going to be like in the WNBA? If you were not finishing in college, then chances are likely you're not going to finish in the league. And you can say what you want, but one of the reasons why I believe that she and Malaysia don't finish that well is when it comes to like contact, things like that. And some other players in college basketball is because they need to get their strength up. When you are driving, I always tell my players this: if you are landing away from the goal, if you are going away from the goal here rather than here, then that's a problem. And it's a problem because you're not initiating that contact. Basketball is a contact sport. You want to land underneath that goal or into your player. You don't want to be going away from the goal. A lot of times when you see them driving, they are going away from the goal. When you're big, when you're more physical, when your strength is up, you want to initiate that contact. You want to be like a Cody McMahon. You want to be like a Sahara Williams, because you're gonna look for that opportunity to get that and one. So that's one of the things that I feel that Malaysia has to work on, but also Flau'jae. And we see how these timely missed layups, when I say timely, early in the game, if they were made, then they could have been a little bit closer and it could have made a difference at the end. But yeah, too many, especially when you're a transition team, like as they are. They like to get out and run. I think them and Oklahoma were like number 1 and number 2 in the SEC or whatever when it came to like points that they scored and just the speed of their game. And so when you do that, man, you gotta finish in the open court. Like, you gotta finish in the open court. That's one of your best offenses. It's not like they have a great offense when it comes to half court, so you need to finish in the open court. And I said second quarter also, everything was going Duke's way. Those tip balls going Duke's way. Like, they would the ball would get in their hands. Why? Because I always say this: when you play hard, it's just like the game rewards you. It's like, okay, like, because you've been playing hard, because you come out with a sense of urgency, then the ball a lot of times is just going to fall your way. And that's what was going on with Duke. Kia Moki, she made a sub where she put in Grace Knox. I thought that Grace matched Fournier's energy pretty well. I didn't see her get as many offensive rebounds. Grace is just that player that she reminds me like of a Kevin Garnett or a Draymond Green in a way, to where you hate to play against them, but you love to have them on your team. They're a little cuckoo, but they play hard. They play hard, and they are those energy players. And championship teams, every championship team has to have it. So I said the LSU is a team of athletes, must finish in transition because they don't have a half-court offense. So I got ahead of myself. But, I mean, I've watched them all year long. When you have a team of athletes and you don't have a great half-court offense, you have to finish in the open court, simply put. Okay? I said Duke doesn't have an answer for Full Wiley. They did not have anybody who can guard Full Wiley. So that we saw throughout the game that Full Wiley just had her way. Whatever it was that she wanted, she got. And I also think she could have been a little bit more aggressive. But, I mean, she just had her way. They didn't have anybody who can match her speed. The help defense wasn't there. She just was getting what she wanted. She was getting layups. She was hitting threes. She was doing what she wanted to do. So, first half report, I had Duke was playing harder than LSU. Simply put, that's a lot of the reason why they beat LSU. I believe that is the reason why they beat LSU, honestly, because they just play harder than them. I said Duke getting whatever they want offensively. They punched LSU in the face, and I said, and my thing for LSU was that Fulwale obviously was a highlight for LSU, and Duke didn't have an answer for her. But the second half, let's talk about second half. Mayer, she picked up where she left off in the first half, hitting a 3. LSU needs to run, in my opinion, more offense through Michaela Williams. Michaela Williams can flat out play. She can flat out play. She reminds me a lot of Madison Booker when it comes to her mid-range game. Like, to me, she's as automatic as Madison Booker is when it comes to that mid-range. And they play, I won't say they do play a lot, but I think honestly that Michaela has a little bit more of a bag than Madison Booker does. But I think that right now Michaela Williams is doing that same thing that Madison Booker was doing kind of before she went into what she's doing now and playing kind of more aggressive, is that they're just too laid back for me. Michaela Williams is too laid back for me. Like, she's the best scorer on their team. And so I was watching a podcast, like, I want you to be shooting the ball. Like, I want you to shoot the ball a lot. You have the ultimate green light, just like to me, she should have the ultimate green light, which I think she does like Madison Booker does. Like, when that ball touches your hand, I want you to create a shot. I want you to do what you do. I want you to score. Because, my gosh, she can play. Like, offensively, she can pass the ball, but like I said, I think that she might have more of a bag, like, because we've seen her dribble than Madison Booker does, and I think she's just as automatic. But where I think that she lacks, she's too laid back, and I don't think that, she just got to be more that dog has to come out of her. So I hope to see this next year. But I said that we start off the second half. We see Mulkey start Malaysia and Knox. But I said that Flau'jae did a good job of attacking. She didn't have the best game, but I did see times to where she was trying to attack. I said LSU does too much pouting and they were undisciplined. They got the talent, but we saw them this season go at each other. We saw them go at coaches on the bench. We saw them get emotional too many times. There's nothing wrong with getting emotional, but like, it comes a point in time where you got to say, I take accountability. When your coach is talking to you, you can't be telling them to get out your face, stuff like that. And we saw that they were undisciplined. And my friend said, she was like, LSU should win it all. Now, I had my reasons as to why I think they were not going to win it all. But she was saying specifically from a talent level, LSU should win it all. And let's be honest, is there anybody out there who matches the talent of LSU 1 through 5? And I'm going to say 1 through 5, very hard. LSU might be the most talented. And of course you have South Carolina up there. But like, just raw talent, I don't think anybody is necessarily better than them 1 through 5. I think they lack a true big. I don't think Koval is there yet. I think Grace is not big enough. But I think Joyner is kind of, she's not there mentally, and she's not that tall. But that's one of the reasons why I didn't think they were going to win. But they were just undisciplined. But the truth of the matter is, they've been undisciplined all year long. They don't for real have any offense that they particularly run. They break down on defense a lot. They let their emotions get the best of them. And at times they were still a good team. Don't get me wrong. But and so, like, I didn't think they were going to lose to Duke. I thought they were going to lose to UCLA. But this is just the result of what they've been kind of doing all year long. So I'm not surprised. I put second half. LSU doesn't know what a box out is. Some folks got killed on the boards. I said, and I asked this question. Could you imagine if Michaela Williams was aggressive all the time? She, without a question, would have been up there as one of the nominees for SEC Player of the Week. I think that skill-wise, that she's better than Michaela Blake's. I think that she's more physical. I think that she's bigger. I think that her bag is deeper than Madison Booker's. And so, like, you have that, and then you put Michaela Williams as a dog. Bro. And I hope she knows, like, the potential that she has. I think she does. But I hope they tell her, because I want to see a dog and Michaela Williams come back next year. I hope that this gave her added fuel to her fire. And I hope that she comes back with a vengeance, because I want to see her be aggressive at all times. She will be unstoppable. The only thing that limits her now is herself. So I would love to see that. But anyway, I said Flau'jae's defensive efforts got her an important call at the end. I think that she ran to a screen or whatever, but because she was playing defense at the end, the refs rewarded her for that call, as I say they do. Koval had a huge block at the end. Fulwale had a huge steal at the end. But this is the importance of which I emphasize to my players all the time, because I tell them, when we're on the left side, we use our left hand. When we're on the right side, we use our right hand. Now, in the game, it might go different, but you need to know how to use both. We need to know how to do the proper footwork on a right-handed layup. Once I pick up that basketball, I got 2 steps, right, left, I'm taking off on my left. On the left side, left, right, I'm taking off on my right. Now, when you get the fundamentals down, then you can do same hand, same foot. Then you can get a little bit crazy with it, but you need to know how to use both hands just as good. I need to be just as good with my right hand as I am with my left hand. Just as good with my left hand as I am with my right hand. We saw Mylasia miss a layup. Now, Mylasia, don't get me wrong, she was the reason they were in the game. But you have to make this layup right here. She had the layup on the left side, did not use her left hand, went to the right side and missed the layup that could have given them the lead. Now, what does this do? This now puts pressure on Duke. But missed the layup, and now Duke gets the ball back and give up an offensive rebound, and Duke has an opportunity to win the game, and guess what they did? They won the game. Now, is Mylasia's layup the reason that LSU lost this game? Absolutely not, because Mylasia Fulwale was the only reason that LSU was even in this game. I want to be clear. But she had an opportunity to win the game at the end. Or not win the game, but at least put LSU up. And because of the missed layup, just like Flau'jae in those missed free throws against South Carolina, did they lose the game because of Flau'jae's missed free throws? No. But there was an opportunity to win the game or to go up. And you have to capitalize on those opportunities. So, unfortunately, she missed the layup. That's why it's important, do I believe she can make a left-hand layup? Absolutely. But it was obvious that she had the left side, went to the right side. And so you just need to be as comfortable with both of them. But overall, it was tough. It was, I didn't think that LSU honestly had the mentality to win a championship this year. I don't think they had the offensive the half-court setting to win, the offensive half-court set to win a championship this year. I didn't think they had the doggishness. What I mean by that, I don't think they played hard enough consistently to win a championship. I don't think they had a big to win the championship. One thing that you can't question, though, is you cannot question the talent that they had. Because of this, I think that they fell short this year. I think that they should have passed. I think they should have beaten Duke. But I can tell you this about Duke. Even though they might not be as talented as LSU was, they wanted it more. They played with a sense of urgency. And I can also say this about Duke. And the reason why I believe that they did is because of their coach and Kara Lawson. Carol Lawson, you can tell that she played for the one and only, the legendary, the iconic Pat Summitt. And she has carried that over into her coaching. And she has talked about when you know your purpose, you don't get distracted. She knows that where she's supposed to be, doing what she's supposed to do. And she is coaching like it. And those girls are feeding off of her. You saw it in the interview. They were talking about the impact that she had, not only on the team, but on that university. And I believe that Carol Lawson is next up. So as much as I love LSU, as much as I am disappointed for Flau'jae, I am happy for Carol Lawson. And I need y'all to be on the lookout, because I think that Duke is one of those teams that's next up. I think they are, because Carol Lawson is no joke. She is second to none when it comes to the heart of the game, the passion of the game. We saw it in her career at Tennessee, for those of you who are old enough to remember. We saw it in the league when she played in the WNBA. She was a competitor at all times. She was a leader at all times, and it is fun and it is exciting, and it is just good to see her continuing to impact the game and to pour into the lives of these young women. So, as much as I hate it for LSU, I am happy for Carol Lawson, and I'm excited for what is in store for the Duke women's program. So, that's my recap on the LSU Duke game. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys thought about the game. Let me know what you guys think about Duke. Let me know if y'all think what you think about Carol Lawson. But just let me know your thoughts about the tournament so far. But that's pretty much, like I said, what I got about the LSU Duke game. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching.